the woman does not need the intercession of her husband before Allah accepts her. And so also when a woman does wrong, Allah will punish her for the wrong deed that she does. Then Allah will punish the man for the wrong work or for the wrong deed that he has done. So he will not punish the two of them, just like Allah said, وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. No life shall carry the burden of another life, nor shall others be punished for the offense of others, but that every life will carry the burden of itself. So women will not suffer for the sins of men, just like men will never suffer for the sins of men. And so Islam again came and gave elevated women that as a mother, you are better than the father 3 times. Hello? Women, I didn't say here salam on the Prophet. That as a mother, you are 3 times ahead of the father. Somebody came and said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, Ayyun nasi ahsan, who among all human beings should I be friends with? Should I be good to? Who should I be good to in the whole world? And the Prophet said, Ummuka, your mother. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, who again? He said, Ummuka the second time. And he said, who again? He said, Ummuka the third time. And then when he said, who again? The Prophet said, Thumma abuk. Then after your mother 3 times, then the father comes. This is Islam. And a pronouncement from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said, Al-Jannatu tahta aqdamil ummahat, that Al-Jannah is under the feet of the mother. Meaning, without obeying your mother, there's no way you will enter Al-Jannah. This is an elevation that Allah gave the woman. And then as a wife, Allah says, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ. That as a wife, you have right to be respected, just like men should be respected. Please, men, listen. Yoruba men, please, listen. Hausa men, please, listen. I won't call Igbo men, they are trying. Igbo men are trying on their wives. We need to ginger Yoruba men and Hausa men. In the name of Allah, in the name of Allah that you believe in, be kind to women. Respect women. Because in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ. On the believing women, on women, they have equal right as that of the men. وَلِلرِّجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ. Even though men are a degree above them. So just like you want to be respected, women are created to want respect too. So please stop calling a stupid woman, foolish woman, idiot. Look at how fat she has become. Look at how what. And I tell men, have you asked us to tell you how you look now too? Because living with you for 30 years, you have changed. It's just that we are shy to tell you how you look. And so you think you are still young and you are this and that. So don't allow us to open our mouth and tell you how you're looking. That we are also managing as you are managing. I'm sorry. You gave me the microphone, so here I'm immune. When I drop the microphone, I will shut up. But since I'm standing here, I will say it as it is. We also want respect. We deserve respect. Don't call us stupid. Don't say we are foolish. Don't say it. You don't like it, so don't tell us that. Quran says you shouldn't say it. One man came to Rasulullah. One of the Sahaba went to Rasulullah. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, tell me, what is the right of a believing man? What is the right of the Muslim woman on her husband? Look at it, please. All I hear now in the mosque, Imam, tell us my right on my wife. You don't want to hear the right of the woman on you. So this man, out of fear of Allah, came to Rasulullah and he said, Ya Rasulullah, tell me what are the rights of my wife on me? Because I do not want to be disgraced on the day of Qiyam. Rasulullah said to him, تطعمها إذا طعمت. Her right on you is that when you eat, you must also feed her. Don't hide and take tea with milk, suya, pomo, is it, what do you call it? Pomo and all of that. Assorted meat. And then you tell, hey, the condition is bad, we'll just manage with this small fish. And then when she cooks the food, he will tell her, I have stomach problem. There's something with my stomach, I will not be able to eat. He has eaten outside. He said, Ya Rasulallah, ma haqqu zawjati ahadina alayhi ya Rasulallah. And the Prophet said, Tut'imuha iza ta'imt, provided I am your prophet, provided you believe in Rasulullah, provided you want to be among the followers of Rasulullah, provided you want to enter Al-Jannah on the day of judgment with Rasulullah. Tut'imuha iza ta'imt, you feed her with what you fed yourself. You give her drink, you give her to drink what you drank. وَتَكْسُهَا إِذَا اكْتَسَيْتَ. Salah is coming now. That void, that less that you bought for yourself, please, we also need. In fact, women need it more. So buy the less, buy the void, buy the ankara for us. We also need it from Rasulullah. وَتَكْسُهَا إِذَا اكْتَسَيْتَ وَلَا تَدْرِبِ وَلَا تُقَبِّهِ. And do not insult us. Do not put us to shame. Do not disgrace us. You will go and marry a 16-year-old girl and bring to the house. I am 56 by the grace of Allah. And then you will tell me that I should do what she's doing. How is it possible? It's injustice. I'm sure if that young girl will open her mouth and tell you that you are also weak like me, but because you have money to spend on her, she will keep quiet. So it's not possible. See the girl now, she gives me tea early in the morning, she gives me this and that and that. You're forgetting that I did it some years back. And now the reality is that I can no longer do it. Probably because there are children. There are other things that I need to attend to. وَلَا تُقَبِّ. Do not disgrace your wives. Do not. Who said so? I didn't say it. I can tell you the hadith so that you don't say I fabricated it. وَلَا تَدْرِبُ الْوَجْهَ. And the Prophet went further and said, don't slap her on her face. La ilaha illallah. وَلَا تَدْرِبُ الْوَجْهَ. Men, Muslim men, don't slap women on their faces. In fact, don't slap them, because the Prophet, according to all hadith as-sahiha, said he never used his hand not to beat a woman, not to beat a child. The Prophet never hit anybody. Some from among our men will hit the woman and she will faint, she will be in a coma for months. Some of them will die in the course, some will kill and hit the head on so many things, and all of these things. If he doesn't hit, he causes us emotional stress and psychological stress. If you go to the hospitals now, there are women queuing with hypertension, sugar, cancer. We can't sleep. We have mental issues, psychological problem, of depression, of panic attack, of whatever. He doesn't give a damn. When his wife is inflicted by his own pain. I pray Rasulullah will not reject us on the day of Qiyamah. ولا تقبه ولا تضرب الوجه ولا تهاجر إلا في البيت. Defended you pack your car and you move to the younger one's house. Or because I don't have male children, you now remarry, and this is why I'm giving you way boys, and you are happy. May Allah bless the girls and the boys. Without the blessings of Allah, children are a curse. Please listen. Without Allah blessing your children, they become a problem. So just ask Allah for blessings. May Allah bless our children. I didn't hear men say Amen, but I know women said it. May Allah not give us children that will cause us sleepless nights. So those girls that you reject may be the ones that will save you when you are old. Allah gives children, He gives boys, He gives girls, He mixes the two. For some, He doesn't even give. So when you have, it is Allah. I will tell you a story of one of the leading women of this century, of that century, not this century. She's an Arab woman. She had daughters. You know the sins of women in Yoruba land, in Igbo land, in many land, in Hausa land, is that all our children are girls, that we gave birth to girls. So that one is another big sin. So this woman gave birth to daughters. Sallu ala Nabi al-Karim. And so typical of an Arab, just like our men, I'm seeing the picture of our men. So he decided to marry another woman who Allah tried him, because I said try him. Allah tried him and gave him the boys that he was looking for. So because he got boys, male children, he will buy black leather. You know, I said this black leather is as old as men ururu. So the man will buy some things, put in that black bag, and then he will be passing, because before he gets to his house, he has to pass through the house of the first wife. And so the first wife will always come out looking outside, and then she will see the husband. He will take his face like this. You know the way you do now, you do like this and pass. Some will pretend they are answering call so that he doesn't even see you. So he will pass. And she will say in her poem, she said, "Ma li abi Hamzata la ya'tina wa yadkhulu al-bayt alladhi yalina غضبان أنا لا نلد البنين والله ما هذا بعيب فينا إنما نحن كأرض لزارعين لا يحصد إلا ما قد زرع فينا." She said, what is the problem with the father of Hamza? Baba Hamza. What's his problem? He doesn't come to our home. وَيَدْخُلِ الْبَيْتِ الَّذِي يَلِينَا. But we see him entering our neighbor's house, the second wife. غَضْبَانَ أَنَّا لَا نَلِدِ الْبَنِينَ. He is so angry with us that we do not have male children. She said, وَاللَّهِ مَا هَذَا بِعَيْبٍ فِينَا. This is not a fault that came from us. Because women, إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ كَأَرْضِ لِزَارِعِينَ, we are just like the, what do you call it, farmland. You know farmland? Farmland, if you sow rice, what will you, will you sow rice and take and harvest beans? She said, women are just like the farmland. They produce what you put inside. So it is the fault of the man that refused to give me the male child, and not my fault. So Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala told men and spoke to men, because at that time, before Islam, in some cultures, they used to bury women alive. Wa'adul banat. They used to kill women, because for them, women were a burden, and it was a shame to have a female daughter. So Quran, we hear the Quran saying, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. On that day, meaning on the day of Qiyamah, on the day of recompense, Allah will ask those men who buried their daughters alive. وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ. Allah will ask that girl who was buried alive, بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلْتِ. On the day of judgment, to the hearing of all, Allah will call and assemble all those who were buried alive, and He will say to them, بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلْتِ. What crime did you commit that you were killed? And she will answer Allah and say, Ya Rabbi, قُتِلْتُ بِلَا ذَنْبٍ. I was killed for no offense, just that I was born as a woman. So now, some of you will say, well, thank God I didn't bury her. There are different ways of burying a daughter. If you refuse her education, you have buried her. Yes. The challenge of our time now. If you refuse a female, a girl child, education, you have buried her alive. Even with education, see how we are battling. Not to talk of when you. So some people will not pay school fees for their daughter. You say, go and pay for your daughter. She's not my problem. I will pay for the boys. And what he doesn't know is that men, their primary concern, their mentality. I'm sorry if you take offense, but that's the truth, because I have a son. Their first mentality is that woman, that girl that I love. Mama, he will come and even tell you, bring some, let's add and give her. It's not about, ma, take 50 and I give her 50. No, it's bring something. Let me add to the one that I'm giving her. The mentality of men, except those who are chosen by Allah, is to first, their primary assignment is to take care of their wife, to take care of their children, and not so much about the mother. But the daughter will take care of the parents and cause her husband to take care of her parents. Am I right? But there are good men. May Allah give us those children that will take care of us. That's why I said, may Allah bless our children. But majority of men, that's what they do. And if you reflect, you will know what I'm saying is right. This Salah now, you may buy a wrapper of 500,000 for your wife. But mama, take 20,000, manage. Just buy something. No shoe, no hijab, no gele, no nothing. Mama, just take this 20,000 and manage. But the wife, no money. The children, no manage. You build a mansion, who do you put in that mansion? I'm waiting for the answer. Who do you build in that mansion? I'm yet to see a man who built a house and he takes me to the first room and said, this is my mother's room. He will tell you, this is my wife's sitting room when she's with her guests. This is where she rests. This is her kitchen. This is her ward. This is her bedroom downstairs. This is her bedroom upstairs. This is where her friends, when they come, but there's no room for his sisters. There's no room for his brothers. There are rooms for her sisters. There are room for her brothers. There are room for her neighbors. Even her townsmen, they have room in his house. La ilaha illallah. May Allah make us reflect. So daughters, the Prophet said, whoever is tried by Allah and you are given daughters, you bring them up with love and kindness. You bring them up with love and kindness. Kunna hijaban lahu minan nar yawm al-qiyamah. That those daughters will be shielded. They will shield the father against hellfire on the day of judgment. Just giving birth to daughters and taking care of them with love and care is enough to stop you from entering hellfire on the day of judgment. So this is a position that Islam came with and told the world. As a wife, you are asked to be respected. You are to be given feeding. This issue of 50-50 is not in Islam. It's a shame. I am not saying when you don't have and she has, she cannot do it. But the agreement in the first place that, see my wife, you pay school fees, I will feed. This one is not a good one. Because what did Allah say? وَعَلَى الْمَوْلُودِ لَهُ رِزْقُهُنَّ وَكِسْوَتُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَعَلَى الْمَوْلُودِ لَهُ رِزْقُهُنَّ وَكِسْوَتُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. That the feeding, the sustenance of children are all dependent on the father and not the mother. But that is not to say if I have, I cannot give. But primarily, it is the responsibility of the father to feed the children and even the wife. That's why even in divorce, Allah said, أنفقوهن من وجدكم أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروا عليهن لتضيقوا عليهن. So Allah says, أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم. Let your women live where you live. Some houses you will see big parlor, everything standard, wall standard, and then the side of the woman, even a goat cannot sleep there. So أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم. Get her a house that is fit for a human being to live in, based on what you can afford. Hello? Based on what? Based on what you can afford. And then also feed her. We've talked about the feeding. Now this is what Islam has done to women. And Islam came and said to women in Surah An-Nisa, لِلرِّجَالِ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا اكْتَسَبُوا وَلِلنِّسَاءِ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا اكْتَسَبْنَا. That women have the right to own property. just like men have the right to what? To own property. Before she was a property. So a property cannot own property. It means if you marry a woman, you can own her with her property. So this feeling of she's my wife, I can sell her house, I can sell her car, you have no right according to Islam. Her property belongs to her, just like your property belongs to you. But because you are federal government men, because men are federal government, so the state government takes from who? Hello? The state government takes from who? From federal government. So your money is federal government's money, and so the state should take from it. But the state can choose whether to have the federal or not to have the federal. But that money is exclusively her right. I thank God men are laughing. So it means you have agreed. So she has the right to own property. She has the right to inheritance. And please, I know I've spent a lot of time, but let me say this. The beauty of Islam. You know, a lot of people are accusing Islam of injustice. They say the Quran didn't do justice to women because Quran gave men double share and gave women only one share. Am I right? These are the comments we hear here and there, that Islam gave men 2 and women 1. Meaning women get 50% while men get 100%. Hello? How can you accuse a book that says all the finances of a woman from the day she was born to the day she will die is on the men? From the day she was born, she's born, to the day she gets married, all her finances, her food, her drink, her clothes, her hospital bill, whatever, her education rests on the shoulder of the father. So she doesn't need money. The day she gets married, the minute you married, her nikah is done, she becomes your responsibility. So her food, her drink, her clothes, her housing, everything, welfare depends on the husband. When there's divorce or the husband dies, she moves, and she's alive, she moves to her son. If the son is old enough, he must take care of the mother till death. If he is not, then she moves to the brother or uncle or cousin. So all the men in her family must take care of her. So what does she need money for? But because she may want to earn life, we all want to earn. She may want to buy something that is not within what you should buy for her. You know, women were crazy about fashion. What is in vogue? The new Mercedes in vogue. The new what? The new what? Women are crazy about this. So she doesn't have to stress the man. She doesn't have to stress anybody. If she has her own money, she can remove and buy her jewelry, her earrings, her whatever she wants to buy, she can buy. She can dash, she can do sadaqah and all of that. And so Quran gave her 50 with nothing to do with it. 50% with nothing to do, with no responsibility. And then he gave the one with responsibility 100. Again, how can you accuse Quran when in all revealed books not even 1% was given the woman? But Quran has mentioned the woman, has acknowledged the woman, and says she has the right to inheritance. So if you look at how Allah divided, if you look at Surah An-Nisa, the verses that followed, I think 111 to 113, I'm trying to remember. If you see how it was chronicled, it started with women first. And I always tell men, if you deny a woman her own fair share, it will affect your own share. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because your share should be times 2 of whatever she's given. I don't know if you are getting me. So where you share and give woman less, you will also get less, because you can never get more than 2 times what she got. Hello, am I communicating? So you're getting more depends on how more or how much you give her. So if she's entitled to 50,000, how much will you get? 100,000. But if you cheat and you give her 20,000, how much will you get? 40,000. So who suffers more? It is the man. So again, I want to say that the measurement of what men get as justice is dependent on the justice done on women. So Allah started with the measure of women before talking about the measure of the men. So as a wife, if you have no child, she gets 1/4 of the total property left behind. As a daughter, she gets half. If she's the only daughter, she gets 150% of the total property left. They get 2/3 of all the total sum of property left. If there are 3, they still get 2/3 of the total sum left. And she's the only sister with no parents, she gets 50% what you've left. If there are 2 sisters, they get 2/3 of what you've left. If brothers, the mother gets 1/6. If she's a mother, but the person who died has no child, she gets 1/3 of the total of what you've left. Look at what Islam has done. And as a wife, if you have children, you die, she gets 1/8. The men will say, why is it that the man is dying? The man is dying. What about the woman? Yes, in equal measure. If you lose your wife, if she dies and she leaves behind property as a husband, if she has no issue, no child, you get 1/2, half of what she has left. If she has children, you get 1/4. It's times 2 of what the woman gets. So you get 1/4. As a father, you get 1/6 if she has issues. As a father, if she has no children, you get 1/3, and then the rest also, you come and get it. If you are a brother, you get all that she has left if she left behind no issue. So all of this, look at how Allah has done it, tabarak wa ta'ala. So Quran acknowledges women to the extent that He gave women the independence to trade, to buy and sell, to transact, to do contract, to work, and above all, Allah gave them the right to education. So it is not for the man to decide what I should read or what your daughter should read, but rather consult with her and advise. If she accepts to read what you think is right, she reads it, but she has the right to choose her own career. She has the right to choose her expertise, and nobody has the right to force anything on her. So she has the right to education. And denying her education is denying her a fundamental right. She has the right to visit her doctor when she's sick. The man has no right to tell her when to go to hospital. I met a lot of women who will tell you that I'm sick, but my husband said I should wait for him, that I shouldn't go to the hospital. Or he doesn't want this doctor. That is the doctor he wants. Probably that is not the doctor she feels comfortable with. Discuss it and allow her to see a doctor when it is necessary. She has the right to speak and air her views. Hello? Sallu ala Nabil Karim. She has the right to vote. What did I say? Men, you are forcing us to vote the men of your choice. Allow her to choose to vote the one she wants to vote. Nobody has the right to force anybody to vote anything. Let me share something funny with you. My children, if I may say it, I'm blessed with 6 children. Alhamdulillah. I have 1 son and I have 5 daughters. And in my house, everybody belongs to different parties. Did you hear what I said? And sometimes I disagree, like my son. He belongs to a party which I strongly disagree with, and he is crazy about that party. He talks about it, and sometimes I get angry. But the best I can do is say, shut up, leave that discussion. And you say, Mommy, but I have the right to also express myself. And then quickly I'll realize that it's true. He has the right to express himself. So on the day of voting, everybody goes to vote differently. And I never force them to vote the person of my choice. So please, when election comes, consult with her. Win her to your party. You can win her through telling her why she should vote, but don't fight with her because she doesn't want to vote. A religion that has provided such rights, such freedom of choice of a husband. She has the right to choose her life partner. She has the right to say, okay, I don't feel comfortable, I'm sick, I can't live with this man, and opt for divorce if it becomes necessary. She has the right to her health. If having many children will cost her life or will make her sick, she has the right to discuss it with you and say, I can't have more children because I have so issues, and you should come to terms and agree. And you cannot say, since you are my wife, you must have 20 children. You must have 10 children. After all, you are not the one that carries the pregnancy. So it's a matter of discussing and agreeing on what. You have no right also to say, my wife, this is what you must sell. Don't sell this, except if what she's selling is prohibited in Islam, then you can convince her not to sell that. So a religion that is so magnanimous as to involve women in every space of life, in spirituality, in mundane life, in finance, in governance. I want to end this by telling you something very important, and so although controversial in our society. You know, this discussion around whether women can rule, whether women can be voted into offices or not, and the discussion around it, the controversy around whether we can have a female president, whether we can have a female vice president, whether we can have a senator woman, whether we can have House of Reps woman, or governor, or deputy governor, or whatever, or House of Assembly, State House of Assembly, Houses of Assembly, is one of the leading hot debates in the Muslim world, which I want to end it with. To tell you that Islam is a civilized religion that has taken into consideration, cognizance, a lot of issues that may even come even when the Prophet was not alive. Because when the Prophet was alive, there was nothing like politics. Am I right? And there was nothing like elections into all these constituencies. Has to speak about it as the last religion, so that we are not left to be confused or to be looking here and there. And so I hear a lot of this hot debate in the Muslim world of whether among conservatives and progressives as to whether it is halal, it is allowed for Muslim women to contest the office of presidency or the senator and all of that. Without adding to what controversy, that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, sallu ala nabi al-karim, sallu ala nabi al-karim, that the beauty of this should not be left out. Because if we talk about economy, social and whatever, and we don't talk about our political whatever, we have not done justice to all of this discussion. And then I see the Quran. Now my own take. I read the Quran and I see Quran talking about Sayyida Bilqis, the Queen of Sheba. You know how Quran talked about her? The Queen of Sheba, Bilqis. What happened when Sayyidina Sulaiman was looking for Huda? And he said, I saw a woman. Inni ra'aytu imra'a. He said, I saw a woman. She has a throne. And she was blessed with anything you can think of. So what happened? Sayyidina, to be fast, what happened? And that's where I'm going to end it. Sayyidina Sulaiman wrote a letter and dispatched the letter and gave the letter to give to Sayyida Bilqis. She was an empress. So when they took the letter to her, what happened? Listen, men, because I hear this discussion that because women lack wisdom, women lack characteristic of leadership, that is where they cannot be leaders. And so I want to invite you to Quran to hear a woman of wisdom, meaning that there are among women who have wisdom, just like there are among men who have wisdom. Just like there are foolish men, there are also foolish women. So don't generalize and say all of us women are foolish and that we lack wisdom. Because Quran attests to this fact. When Quran tells us, when they brought the letter, she read the letter to her councils of chiefs, to the council of chiefs. And she said to them, I will not do anything until you advise me. What do you see? Listen to men. They said, Let's go, let's get ready and fight Suleiman. We are strong and we have the might. Let's invade him, let's take over. But listen to a woman talking, and Quran says it. She said, Innal muluka idha dakhalu qaryatan afsaduha wa ja'alu a'izzata ahlaha adilla wa kadhalika yaf'alu. She said, no, be cautious, beware, my advisors. Even though you said we have the might to go and overwhelm Suleiman, but remember that the attitude of rulers is that wherever they invade, they cause destruction and then they debase the noble. Among women, there are great thinkers. Among women, there are people with qualities of leadership. Just like among men, we have people who have quality of leadership. But the discussion of the president is something to be discussed or not, is something we will discuss by the grace of Allah Ta'ala when next, inshallah, we reconvene. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss with all of us, and I want to seek your indulgence to please forgive me if in the course of my delivering this lecture I've said anything that you feel offended. It wasn't a personal attack, it was more like a discussion, and I see you as my brothers, as my sons, some of you, some as even old enough to be my fathers, so the discussion is more of an interactive one between people who are believers in Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. I pray that Allah accept our fasting. May this Ramadan be a month where Allah will pardon us and give us amnesty. May our prayers be granted. May Allah bless us, bless our children. And I wish to also see this opportunity to pray for our country, Nigeria, to also pray for our leadership. May they be guided by Allah to do what is right, and may our economy stabilize. May we have peace and security wherever we live. And at the end of it, may the last thing we will say when we are leaving this world, when we are departing, may it be La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
Don't you see that we have a leader here already? And like Shaggy is. Shaggy, please let him have.
What